Hello students, welcome to the third demonstration of professional web designing. Now today I'll give you a brief introduction about myself. I am Prasun. I am a web designer, a web developer and a digital marketing specialist having more than 15 years of experience training students. I started training students in the year 2010, and prior to that I was working in various multinational IT companies like Shadi.com, Mail.com, Datamatics, etc., holding senior positions. And thereafter, in the year 2010, I started training students. So till date, I have trained more than 2,000 students in the field of web designing, web development, and digital marketing. So that is the brief introduction about myself. Now let us dive straight into Photoshop. So I'll share the screen with you. So I share the screen. You can see the screen now. I'll start Photoshop. So I go to Start. Then I come down to Photoshop. My Photoshop file opens. So first I'll create a new file. So set the width, height, all the dimensions to set. So width, suppose I set the width as 1024 pixel, height as 768 pixel, resolution 72 pixel per inch, color RGB mode, and the background page color will be white. So I create the page. Now yesterday we saw what is pixel, what is the resolution, what is the use of Photoshop software, what is color mode, what is color code, what is foreground color, what is background color. And then in the toolbox we saw yesterday how to use different shapes, create different shapes using the shape tool. So in the shape tool you have different shapes, that is your rectangle, rounded rectangle, then circle, then triangle, then straight line, and custom shape tools. So this much we have covered yesterday, right? Now today what we'll do, we'll see what is the next important tool, that is the text tool. This T icon that you see here, so this is a text tool. Now before we get to use the text tool, so let us draw some shapes on a page. So I take the first shape tool, that is your rectangle tool. I set the radius to 0. I select a particular color, foreground color for my shape, and I draw on the page. And if I want the corners to be rounded, what I do? So here I'll set the radius value. So suppose I give 20 pixel radius, and radius means what? The degree of roundness of the corners. Now again, if I draw the rectangle, my corners will now be rounded by 20 pixel. So this is a rectangle and this is rounded rectangle. Now next will be circle. Let's choose the circle tool. And then let's change the color here. And then draw the circle. So hold the shift button and drag. So this is a circle. Then triangle. Let's draw a triangle now. So again, will change the color. You take the color from the color palette, and if you want a straight triangle with 0 radius, straight corners, so set it as 0, the corner, and draw the triangle. It will give you a straight corners because our corners are not rounded. It will give straight corners. And if you want the corners to be rounded, so set the corner value here. Suppose I give 30, so that is called a radius value. And after I set the radius value, when I draw the triangle again, see, now the corners are rounded. Then I take the polygon tool. Polygon means any number of sides. Okay, any number of sides. So in polygon tool, so if you want a 6-sided diagram or 7-sided shape or 8-sided shape, any number of sides you want, you can set the number of sides over here and then draw. Suppose I want a 7-sided shape. So I enter the value 7 and I change the color, and then I draw the shape. So it will draw a 7-sided shape. And then we have the line tool. So again, you can change the color here. I change the color. And when I select the line tool, it will ask for the weight. Weight means the thickness of the line. So the minimum weight is 1 pixel. That is called the hairline thickness. Hairline, just like a hair, like a strand of hair. Hairline thickness. And if you want a thicker line, then you increase the weight value. So suppose I make it 10 pixel. So that will give a more thicker line. And if I want to draw a straight line, what I can do, I can hold the shift button and draw. It will go straight. It will not bend. So this is the shape tool that we have done. And apart from that, yesterday you also saw what is vector image, what are the types of image, that is vector image and bitmap image, and how the vector image is used and how the bitmap image is used. So all these things we saw yesterday. Now, after this, now what we'll do, now let's go to the next important tool, that is your text tool. So this T icon that you see, there's a text tool. So inside text tool also, there are a number of tools. That is, one is horizontal type tool, as you can see here. Then you have vertical type tool. Then you have vertical type marks tool and horizontal type mask tool. So these are the primary type tools. That is a horizontal type tool and vertical type tool. And this vertical marks tool is a little advanced. We'll do it later. So no need to worry about that. And horizontal type marks tool also will do at the later stage. So first let us learn the basic primary tools. So these first two tools are basic primary type tools. That is horizontal type tool and vertical type tool. Now what is horizontal type tool? When you type something horizontally, normally. So what you do? You take the text tool here and click anywhere on the page and you can start typing. Suppose I type hello world. So the words, as you can see, the size of the font is very small. Now what you can do after typing, if you want to increase or you want to change the font size or the color or the font type, all these things you can do. So what you can do now, after typing, you select the text just like you do in any other software. After selecting the text, if you want to change the font style, suppose I want to increase the font style, font size, so I go here. Now when you select the type tool, all the parameters about the text will appear here. So this is the font style. So the number of font styles over here. So many font styles you have. Huge list of font styles. So you can choose any of the font styles from here, right? And then Here you have the different font type, that is, so there is bold, italic, or underline. And there you have the font size. What is the size of the font? You can set from here. And if you want to make the font strong or sharp or crisp or smooth, you can select from here. And then you have the alignment, how the text is aligned, whether it is aligned to the left or to the right or to the middle or justified. And this is the color of the font. So this, when you select the text tool, this dialog box will appear. All the related dialog boxes that is related to text, whether it is font style or font type or font style or size of the font, or to make it bold, italic, underline, or strong, smooth, or if you want to set the alignment, left, right, center, and then the font color. This is the font color. So when you type for the first time, as you can see, the font color, the text color, which is this, will match with the foreground color by default. Later on, if you want to change the text color, you can do it. So what we'll do is, now suppose my text color is right now like this, yellow. So what I do, I select this text. I select the text. I select the text. Now suppose I want to change the text color. So what I'll do, I'll click here, not here. So text color is this, and this is the color of the shape. So you change the text color from here. So click here and select a particular text color. So I suppose I take the text color as this red color. I say okay. Now you see the color of the text has changed. Now again select it. Now suppose I want to change the font size. I want to make it bigger. So click on this, and then you can increase the font size like this. Okay. So you have to select first and then make the change. Now suppose currently my font type is Garamond. Now if I want to change it, suppose what I'll do, I'll select the font, I'll select the text here, go here, and then I can change whatever font I want. Suppose I want this font, so it will change to that font. And if you want to check which font to apply, so what you can do, you can just click on this font type box inside. So it will turn into blue like this. And then with the down arrow, you can check one by one how the font is looking on the page. Slowly you can do it. You can check one by one, you can check it. And whichever font you like, you choose that font out of the entire list. Okay. So that is how we use the text tool. So this is all about text. And then this is the alignment. So right now we have the left alignment is aligned on the left. Then this is the center. This is the right. And then you come again to the left. So in this way, you can change the alignment of the text, whether it's a left alignment or right alignment or center alignment. On this another alignment that is called justify alignment. We'll see that after some time. Okay. So right now my font type is Calibri. So this is the font. And similarly, so these are vertical, horizontal text. And if you want to type some vertical text, you take the vertical text tool here, and then you type here. So welcome. Just type normally. So in this way, it will type vertically. So horizontal text and vertical text. The same thing here also, if you want to change the font type, then font style, then color, all these things you can do in the same fashion as we did for horizontal text, normal horizontal text. Okay, so that is your text tool. Now, when you use the text tool, here there are three alignment parameters. One is so suppose I use the normal horizontal text. So here there are three alignment parameters. Alignment. One is the left alignment, which is this. One is the center alignment, which is this. And another is the right alignment, which is this. So again, I come back to the left alignment. Now there is another alignment, which is called justify. Now coming back to the text tool, the two ways you can type the text on the page. One way is, as I showed you just now, just click on anywhere on the page and start typing. Correct. Now there is another method that is called the paragraph method. Now instead of writing only one line of text or only one word or only a couple of words in the text, you want to write a particular paragraph, a complete paragraph with multiple lines. So in that case, what you do, you create a text box. So what you do, you take the text tool and just drag the mouse button like this and leave it. So don't release the mouse button unless you complete the text box. So you just draw the text box like this and then release the mouse button. So your text box will be created. Now you can type inside the text box. Now suppose I give a font size of 16. So here I can say hello world, welcome to my template design which I am designing using Photoshop. So I write something like this. Okay. So I write some text. Now, as you can see here, the text will never go out of the text box. So it will remain within the text box. No matter whatever you type, so moment it reaches the corner, it will come into the next line automatically. So that is the use of text box. It will never go out of the page. So it will always remain confined to the area inside the text box. The text will never go out of the text box. Understood? So that is the use of text box. Now suppose I copy the same thing again and again. So I copy this. So I select this, then I go to edit and I say copy. And then I come to the next paragraph. I say again copy. I come to the next paragraph. I say again copy. So in this way, I create 3 paragraphs. Now, as you can see, the text is left aligned. Now, if I want to make it center, what I'll do, I'll select the text first. So you have to select the text. So select the text and click on the center alignment. So this is center alignment, as you can see here now. So it is neither on the left nor on the right. So it's in the center. And then another element that you have, that is called the right alignment. So it will be aligned to the right. Okay. And by default, if you again come back to the left, it's aligned to the left. So alignment is happening only on the left side now. It is not happening on the right side. And if you align to the right, the alignment is happening on the right side and not to the left side. Now, if you want the alignment to happen on both the sides, on the left side as well as the right side, so what do you do? So in that case, you have to do a thing that's called justified alignment. So how do you do that? So first, select the text inside the text box and then click on this box, this particular box that you see here. You click on this. And when you click on this box will open here. Okay. Now here you have these different things you have. You have these properties, adjustments, libraries, characters, paragraphs. So click on paragraph. And when you want to justify, so this is the justify. So click on this. When you click on this, it will justify. So justify means the alignment will be on both the left side and the right side, as you can see here now. Is aligned, the text is aligned on both the left side as well as the right side. So that's called justify. And there is another thing that's called force justify. So justify is this, and if you want to force justify, that is this. So when I click on this, so it will justify, all the lines will justify on the left side as well as the right side, every line. And as you can see, to fill up that extra space is creating spaces. So if you forcibly justify, what will happen? You will have blank spaces in between the text, and that doesn't look good. So the best way to justify is, if you want to justify, the best way to justify is to give normal justify, which is this. It will justify like this. Okay. So this is all about your alignment. Clear? And then vertical text and horizontal text. So after the text tool comes the next important tool, that is your eyedropper tool, which is this eyedropper. So this tool, as you can see, it looks like an eyedropper, medicine eyedropper thing, right? Just like in medicines, we use the eyedropper. So it looks something like that. So therefore, the name of this tool is eyedropper tool. But what is the use of this tool? The use of this tool is to pick color sample, a particular color sample. How? Let's see that now. Now suppose here we open a particular image. So let's open an image here. So I'm not going to create a new page. I'll open an existing image. So for doing that, what you do, you come to open. So click on open, and which image I want to open. So we come to photos here. Let's select this image. So is this image also, we use this image yesterday also, because it's very colorful, nice image. Now on this image, suppose I ask you to pick a shade of a particular color. Suppose I want you to pick up exactly this shade that you have here in this, red color roses. Or suppose I want to pick you to pick this exact color shade of this pink roses or tulips. So can you do it from here? Suppose I ask you to pick up the exact color like this. Is it possible? No. It will take a very, even if it is possible, it will take very, very long time. And that will be a wastage of time. But with the help of this color picker tool, you can easily pick up a particular color from here, any color. So when I take the color picker tool, and when I open the color box here, and suppose I want to pick up this exact shade that I have here, the color shade, I have it here. So what I'll do, I'll bring this eyedropper tool here. As you can see here, I'll bring the eyedropper tool here and click on the mouse. Now it will pick up the exact color shade that I want. Now if I want this particular color shade, I click on this. If I want this particular color shade, I click on this. Now if I want a particular color shade of this roof of this house, I click on this. If I want the shade that is there on the windmill, this red shade, I click on this. Then blue here, I click on this. So wherever I click, it will pick up that particular color shade. This eyedropper tool will pick up that particular color shade. So that is the very important tool, to pick up different color shades. How does it do? Basically, the color shade is picked up on the basis of on which pixel you are clicking, pixel value. Now, as I said yesterday, this entire image consists of pixels, small, tiny color values. Now, depending on which color value you are picking up with the help of this color picker tool, on which pixel value you are clicking, that particular pixel value will be selected and shown here. And this tool, I can tell you, is very important tool, because once you pick up a particular color that you want, and then you can use that color in your design. Correct. So that is for that reason, this color picker tool or eyedropper tool is very, very important for our designing process. So this is called your color picker tool, or by the general name, you can call it eyedropper tool. But the use of this eyedropper tool is to pick a particular color sample based on the pixel value, right? So that is your color picker tool. And after that, you come to this tool that is called as you can see here, the name is rectangular marquee tool. Rectangular marquee tool it is called. But what is the use of this tool? The use of this tool is to make particular selection of the image and then copy the selected portion to the same image or to another file. For example, suppose I select this tool, and so here I select this rectangular marquee tool or selection tool. And after doing that, what I do, I make a selection of this windmill. Suppose I make a selection of the windmill. So when I make a selection, this dotted line will come like this, dotted box, line box will come. That means it's selected. Once it is selected, what you can do, you can say edit, go to edit menu, you can say copy, and then you can create a new file and paste that particular image selection into this new page and say paste. So as you can see here, this area that is selected, that has been copied and pasted into the new file. You can do that, or otherwise what you can do, you can just select it here, select it here and paste in the same file. That also you can do. You can either copy and paste on a new file, or you can copy and paste in the same file. That you can do. Like here I made the selection. So edit, I say copy, and then again I go to edit, I say paste. Now you'll ask me, where is the copy of this? Copy of this is basically overlapping here, as you can see here, is overlapping. Means when I drag the mouse with this, you see the copy, selected copy is separating from this. So in this way, you can create different copies of the selected part of the image. So either you can copy and paste on a new page, or you can copy and paste the same page in this way. So this tool is called the rectangular marquee tool or image selection tool. So with this tool, you select a portion of the image, and after selecting, what you do, you copy and paste it either on a new file or on the same file. Make different copies of the selected part. So that is the use of the rectangular marquee tool. So as you can see here in rectangular marquee tool, the selection is rectangular or square, depending on what kind of selection you're making. Now there is another marquee tool or selection tool that is called elliptical marquee tool. So here what will happen, it will give a rectangular, it will give a circular selection, not rectangular, sorry. It will give a circular selection like this. So when I say edit and I say copy and I say edit and paste, now you see here this particular selection is copied and pasted. So instead of a rectangular or square selection, you have a circular selection. That is the only difference. Otherwise, it is doing the same thing. It is selecting a particular portion of the image and copying and pasting the image. So this tool is also very important. Rectangular marquee tool and elliptical marquee tool. rectangular marquee tool. So this tool is basically a image selection tool. Both these tools. This for rectangular image selection and this for circular image selection. Okay. Now after this comes your move tool, whereby you can move different objects. So I select the move tool here, and suppose I want to move it here, I move it here. I want to move this here, I move this here. Now suppose I type some text on this. So I take the text tool, I create a text box, and I type some text. Welcome to my template design. Now, as you can see here, currently text is so small they can hardly see it. So what you do if you want to enlarge the text, just select the text here like this, drag the mouse over the text to select it, and then you can increase that font size. So currently the size is 16, so you can increase to 60 to make it look bigger. Now you see, now it is looking bigger. And then if you want to say change the font type, so you can from Calibri, right now it is Calibri font. So from Calibri, suppose you want to change to some other font. Suppose I want to change it to Berlin Sans. So this is the Berlin Sans font. So in this way, you can change the font. You can make it bold, italic, underline. You can set the font size. You can make it the font strong, sharp, crisp, small, strong and smooth. And then you can set the alignment here. And then left, right, and center. And this is the color. And if you want to change the color, you change the color. So when you type for the first time as I did now, your image, your shape color, which is this, will match with the font color when you type for the first time. And thereafter, if you want to change it, you can change the font color, the text color. So this will be the color of the shape that I draw on the page, and this will be the color of the text. So if I want to change the color of the text, what you do, you select it first, select the text, and then click on color and which color you want. Suppose I want blue color, and it will change to blue color, as you can see. So this is your text color, and this is your shape color. Remember that. Okay. So this is your move tool. Now, if I want to move it, so if I want to move this selection, what I can do, I can move it. Say I'm moving this. If I want to move this selection, I move this. If I want to move this text, I move it around like this. So this tool is allowing me to move the different elements of the page where I want it, and position the elements where I want it. Suppose I want the text to be here. I want this image to be here. I want this image to be here. So in this way, I can position my different elements on the page with the help of the move tool. I can move and position the elements, different elements on the page. And after that, what you have, next important tool is the eraser tool, which is this. So this is the eraser tool. So what is the use of eraser tool? As you know, eraser erases off, just like a rubber eraser. So now suppose I want to erase this particular image. So what I can do, I can use the eraser tool. I can use the eraser tool to erase it. See, it is erasing. I can erase it off like this. So that is the use of the eraser tool. Correct? And finally, I have the hand tool, which is this. Hand tool means, now you see, if I use the hand tool now, the hand tool is not going to work because this entire image is visible on the screen. Now, if I zoom this image, if I zoom it, zoom in, that is your magnify. When I zoom in, change to plus and click the zoom. When I zoom in, my image is going out of the screen. So now I can use the hand tool. So hand tool, what I can do, I can just pull it, pull the different portions of the image and see what is there. the image. So I can pull and check what are the things that are there on the page. But when I have the full view of the page like this, then the hand tool is not going to work, because there is nothing, hand tool has no job to do basically, because you are able to view the entire page. But when the page zooms and portions of the page goes out of the screen, then with hand tool you can drag and see the different parts of the page. So that is the use of the hand tool. And as I said, zoom tool. So there are two things here on the zoom tool. So this is my zoom tool. One is your zoom in, that is the plus, to become bigger. Another one is the zoom out, which is minus, so it will become smaller. So zoom in and zoom out. Okay. So these are the important tools that will be requiring to design a template. Now there are various other tools, as you can see here, but these other tools are basically meant for photography. These are not required to be used for designing the website template. Now we'll be concentrating only how to design website template. We will not get into how to modify photograph and all that, but because that is not required in your course. So what we'll be basically concentrating is how to design a good template. And these are the tools that we have done just now will be good enough to design the template. Other tools are basically related to photography, which you don't require at the moment. Okay. So this is how it is. So these are different tools that we'll be using. Clear? Okay. So there are around 6 important tools for website template design. First is your shape tool. Then is your text tool. After that comes your eyedropper tool. After that comes your eraser tool. Then comes your rectangular marquee tool for making rectangular selection, and elliptical marquee tool, that is for rounded selection. Then you have move tool, and then you have the eraser tool, and finally you have the zoom tool to zoom in and zoom out. Now there are some more very important selection tools which we'll have to do apart from this. So this is one selection tool. Inside this, as you can see, it is object selection tool, quick selection tool, and magic wand tool. So these tools are also very important. We have to do this, and all these tools are selection tools. And here also you have the selection tool, that is your lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. So this one selection tool that we just now saw this. What is the use of this selection tool? Rectangular marquee tool and elliptical marquee tool used to make selections. Now there is another selection tool that is called your lasso tool. Lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. So these are also very important, and this selection tool is also very important. Okay. So now let us see this. What is polygon lasso tool? Polygon lasso tool. Let us see that. Now suppose we saw that when you make a selection with rectangular marquee tool or elliptical marquee tool, it either makes a square selection or a circular selection. Correct. But what if we want to make a very precise selection? For example, let's open another image here. Suppose we open this image. Now here you see a girl sitting with a laptop in her office. Now suppose we want to make a precise selection about the laptop and the girl. Only that part we want to select out of the entire image. And I don't want standard circular selection or rounded selection. I don't want that, because if I make a standard this rectangular selection, a lot of elements that is not required will come into this. See the part of this room, everything is coming. That I don't want. I want to only and only select a precise selection of this laptop and the girl. So I cannot do that with the help of the rectangular marquee tool or elliptical marquee tool. I cannot do that. So in that case, I have to use this tool that is called your polygon lasso tool. So in this case, so let us see the use of polygon lasso tool. Okay. So how do you use it? So take the polygon lasso tool, select this polygon lasso tool, zoom the image a little bit so that you can clearly see. And then what do? You click at one point here. Suppose I'm selecting this, I want to select this. So I'll select this laptop here. Then I'll select this mouse pad. Then I'll select the girl. Okay. So I want to make this selection. So what I'll do, I'll just click on this. I take a starting point. I click on this. And then drag the mouse like this. Then again click. Again drag the mouse. Again click. Again drag the mouse. Click. Drag the mouse. Click. Again drag the mouse. Click. Click. You can drag the mouse here, click. So in this way, along the edges, you can make a precise selection. So go along the edges like this. Take small parts and then click. So drag it and then click. Drag it and then click. Drag and then click. 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 So in this way, you click. You click it. Click it. So along the edges, very carefully, you just click, take small parts and click on clicking. So click like this. And then ultimately what you have to do, you have to come back to the point from where you have started. So come here, and this is the point from where I started. So by covering the entire part that I want to select, then again you come back to the starting point and finish your selection. So in this way, my entire selection is done. As you can see, the dotted line. Next, what I can do, so I can say edit, I can say copy, and then I go to new file. So I create the new file and I say paste. So as you can see, out of the entire image, I was able to copy and paste this particular selected part of the image. Specific selected part of the image. I can do that, as you can see here. Okay, so this is the use of the polygon lasso tool. Now, when you are using the polygon, so let's go back to the original image again. Now, when you are using the polygon lasso tool, so when I select this polygon lasso tool here, is selected. Now you see there is a parameter that is coming here that is called feather. Feather, feather. Now feather is currently set at 3 pixels here. As you can see here, 3 pixels. So with 3 pixel feather, I got this kind of selection. Now what is the use of feather? Feather is basically used if you want to smoothen the edges of your selection. If I set the feather to 0, what will happen? When I make the selection, it will have a very precise and strong selection along the edges. And at the end of it, it will appear as though the image has been forcibly extracted from a source file and pasted forcibly. So it will not look natural because the edges will be very strong and sharp. But if I give some feather value, what will happen? It will create a very smooth edge in the selection, as you can see here. Here the image is not looking as if I have copied and pasted forcibly on this. There's edges that you can see here is not very sharp, right? Now let us see if I don't give any feather. So here there is a feather of 3 pixels, correct? And this is the output. Now suppose in the next occasion, what I do, I reduce the feather value to 0. I don't give any feather. 0 means no feather. I don't apply any feather. And I again take this, your polygon lasso tool. Now again I do the same thing. I make the selection, but the difference is that in the previous selection there is a feather value of 3 pixels, but now there is no feather value. Feather value is 0. So with zero feather value, what happens? Let us see. So again I'll do the same thing. I'll just click on this, then drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, then drag, click, drag, click. So take small parts like this, drag, click, 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 keep on clicking like this along the edge of the part that you want to select. So I keep on clicking like this. And as I said, after making the selection, you have to come back again to the point from where you started. So again, I come back to the starting point here and complete my selection. So this is a selection without feather. Now let's see what is happening. So when I say edit, copy, and I create a new file, and I say edit and paste. Now you see the difference here. So here this image is without any, if I zoom a little bit, you can see clearly. So this selection is without any feather value, and this selection is with some feather value. Which is looking more natural, this or this? Obviously this is looking more natural, because here the edges are not very sharp, it's not very jagged. But here, as you can see, the edges are very sharp and jagged. So here it is appearing as though I have forcibly extracted a portion of the image and pasted it here. But here the image is looking very natural. So when you make a selection with the polygon lasso tool, make sure that you give some amount of feather value so that your selection will look natural. The edges will not be very sharp and will look very natural. So that is the use of feather. Now let's come back to the image again. So that is the use of your polygon lasso tool. Now there is another tool that is called lasso tool. Now lasso tool and polygon lasso tool is almost the same. In lasso tool, what is happening is that you don't have to click and stretch like this. So it's just like a pencil you draw. You trace like a pencil. Pencil tracing you do. So you know tracing. What is tracing? Tracing. So it's just like tracing with a pencil. So just hold the mouse button. Don't release the mouse button until you complete the selection. So just hold down mouse button and drag the mouse like this along the edge. So that is how the lasso tool is used. But for using the lasso tool, as you can see here, you need very, good hand control you need. So without very good hand control, it is not advisable to use lasso tool. So here I make a selection here. See, make a selection, but is not making a proper selection. So polygon lasso tool is a better tool to make a specific selection instead of lasso tool. Lasso tool is just like tracing on a piece of paper along the edge. So you click at one point, don't release the mouse button, just drag and complete the selection. And then there is another tool that is called magnetic lasso tool. This is another lasso tool that is called magnetic lasso tool. Now, what is the use of magnetic lasso tool? Let's see this. Magnetic lasso tool, what you do? So just click once. Suppose this is my starting point. I click. And then I don't have to either click or I don't have to hold on the mouse button. So see, I'm not holding the mouse button. I'm just dragging this mouse along the edge like this. It is automatically selecting like this. Automatically it is selected as I drag the mouse. So I'll not hold down the mouse button. I'll just click and just move the mouse along the edge of the image that I want to select. Just like this, you drag the mouse without clicking or without holding the mouse button. So just do this and your selection will be done. So this is how you make the selection. So that is the use of magnetic lasso tool. What magnetic lasso tool does is, so it picks up the pixel values as you drag along and makes the selection. So these three tools are very important because these three tools are also your selection tools, with the help of which you can make very specific selections. And out of this is the most common and widely used tool. That is polygon lasso tool. Okay. So this polygon lasso tool, and magnetic lasso tool. So these three tools are there. So I hope you have understood the different things that we learned today. And if you have any doubts, you can comment, you can ping me, you can comment on the video or ping me, and I'll be glad to help you to clear your doubts. So let us end our session today here, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Good night and thank you.